And what's up, everybody? This is Writer's Block here with Rashi Dash. Rashi.
Hello.
We are here with a company called Philly Games. We'd like to present to you our new game we're making called Welcome to Ponyville. Rashi, go ahead and start it up there. Random Fluttershy. First thing I'd like to point out is this: we do not in any way own anything you see here. All rights reserved for Hasbro and all that, of course, good legal stuff there.
Except the game engine itself, of course.
The engine itself we made from scratch. But even the image you're seeing there just so happened to be good for our game. The day we were trying to figure it out, the image showed up. So we're going to go ahead and give you a little, what we're going to do here is give you a demonstration of what our game does. It'll just give you a quick view of the story, and then we have a special message for you. I think you're all going to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and fire up there, Rashi. Of course, we'll introduce a little bit of it along the way. We'll give you a few seconds there to go ahead and read the screen, and us reading it to you would probably get rather old pretty quick. And in our game, anytime you see a train of text without a name above it, that is your character's internal dialogue. It's his or her thought. Putting that up there. Notice the smooth character transitions. Might have to use your imagination a bit on this one. Rashi and I aren't what you'd call artists. We aren't necessarily good at drawing or painting. The artwork we use, we'll get into that later, but just know for now this is all pulled from the show and the internet. And here's a perfect place to show off what our engine can do. Our game isn't a game where you just play through a set storyline. Everything you can do in this game is set to how you want to play. As you see here, option 1, you can give him your ticket. Option 2, you can be kind of a jerk and not give him your ticket. Usually what will happen in this game is there'll be 3 options. The first option being the nice guy option, or the guy's pony option. The second option being the neutral option, and the third being the jerky pony option. And Matt will go ahead and demonstrate, Rashi will go ahead and demonstrate here what happens with option 2. And he gets a little mad about that. Doesn't appreciate that. The characters in this game will actually respond to how you treat them. If you're a jerk to someone like, say, Cherry Lee, well, maybe the Cutie Mark Crusaders don't like you so much anymore. Things like that. Go ahead, Raj. I gotta give him a ticket. Here's another key feature of our game, is you get to actually customize your character. You'll never actually see your character, but you still get a degree of customization that will change things throughout the game. If you're a Pegasus, you can fly. You can perhaps go places that you couldn't otherwise go as an Earth Pony. Things like that. All right, Raj, you go ahead and surprise us there. Choose whatever you want. Now, special points for anyone who guesses where the "I'm sure you'll fit right in" phrase comes from. Next, Matt. And of course, you choose your gender, which again will actually change the way the game plays to you. Characters may treat you differently depending on if you're a mare or a stallion. Rash, I'm kind of hoping you'll pick a stallion for that one. I thought you were going to do just the opposite, just to spite me.
It's like you wrote that line specifically for that.
Just about. And here's the first time your character ever gets off the train. He arrives in Ponyville.
Obviously, it's very bright.
Ah, you've been in a dark train the whole time. Your character just woke up from a nap, mate. And as this little screen right here will kind of explain, the whole premise of the game is you are the new pony in Ponyville. You just moved into town. You got to find a place to live. Got to get some bits coming in. You got to eat. Got to make friends. Maybe go beyond that, though. We can't quite tell you just yet, but there's a lot of things story-wise at work here. In a sense, it's almost like build your own pony adventure. Granted, you'll still be playing within the confines of our story, but the story can play out as you want it to. Kind of like Mass Effect, minus the gratuitous violence. I would like to note in this scene right here how she addresses you as Mister. An example of how our system will change depending on your gender. If you were a mare, she would address you as Miss instead. I would like to point out this is a pre-alpha thing. Nothing you see here is necessarily final, minus the story itself is final, but everything else you see is still a work in progress. We just wanted to show you all what we're doing here. This is taking much less time to show this than I thought it would. It took much longer to make it. Then the scene right here, we haven't got it in the engine yet, but there will be sound effects, and the screen can actually shake. At this moment right here, you hear a sound effect of slamming into someone and the screen would shake, but we're not quite to that point yet. And, of course, the random giant Pinkie Pie.
You left it random. I like it.
Well, Pinkie Pie gets right in your face when she talks to you.
True.
Alright, we'll pause right there for a second. What you've seen there is actually the beginning of the game. Everything you've seen there will be in the game. Maybe not those exact backgrounds and those exact character animations, but that's what will be there. The next thing we're going to show you, we like to demonstrate what our engine can actually do for you, how customizable the game will actually be. And Rash, anything you want to say, mate?
I think you've pretty much got it so far.
I'd like to explain right quickly the system here where if you're nice to certain ponies, they'll treat you nice in return. You will get friendship points depending on how you interact with other ponies. Like say if Rainbow Dash, you tell her she's a horrible flyer, you're going to gain what we call nemesis points. She's not going to like you as much anymore. And that will again change the way the story is based around that character interacting with you. In addition, if you consistently make good guy decisions or bad guy decisions, you get alignment points. There's good pony alignment and bad pony alignment. If you have enough alignment points in either one of those categories, a fourth dialogue option opens up based upon which one you're specialized in. In addition to having the simple, let's say, the nice guy option, well, if you're a really nice pony, you get option 4, be a super nice guy option. And if you do that, of course, it gains you even more friendship points with the person you're talking to. Or pony, rather, I should say. All right, Rash, let's go ahead and show them the special message we got prepared for them here.
Actually, you did remind me to say something. You said it a couple times, but this really is a tech demo.
Right, it is.
Not anything really more than that, but in addition to the tracking in the engine, it can actually track specific events too and have them come back to you later. Especially if you're not a nice guy.
Right, and again, I keep referencing Mass Effect because they're a game that I think did this right. If you make a decision, it may not seem like much now, but later down the road, you might come back and be like, oh, that had a major effect on what's going on now. And we track all that through a system in our engine we call the friendship system, which really is an all-encompassing system that allows us to control and keep track of all the decisions you make. So in a sense, friendship truly is magic.
Good way of putting it.
You're right. Let's go ahead and go to the next thing, Mike. And here's our special message for all of you. Just a little demo of what we're doing. And what Lyra's talking about now, she's telling you all a bit about what we're doing in the game. I figured you'd rather hear it from her mouth than mine. So enjoy, please. Rosh, wait, never mind.
Continuing.
Right, I was looking at the wrong thing, Mike. We'd like to point out that we didn't rehearse this, so if it seems a little raw, we do apologize, but...
I think it makes it better.
Right, it's more organic that way. That part still cracks me up. I like how you just jumped through that part, didn't even stop at all.
It was a short piece of dialogue. I didn't have to wait on it.
Hey, but it was funny. And what she mentioned down there is completely true. I'd like to go ahead and point that out right quick, that all of the artwork we need, as I mentioned earlier, we are not artists. We'll be looking to you, the community, possibly to even have people on our staff to work with us to create the artwork for the game. Because unfortunately, Rash is a coder, I'm a writer, neither one of us are artists or necessarily good at drawing.
We're terrible, actually.
We are quite terrible. And that's the entire point of this game, is this is not our game. This is your game. You, the community, fellow bronies, you created this game. All we're doing is putting the pieces together. That's all we're doing. And random Debbie. And now you've all got Deppies. Now, right here, hold on just a second there, Raj. Right here is where we're going to begin demonstrating a little bit of the power of our engine. This scene we're going to come back to in a minute. But for the first time, we're going to go with option 3, being again the jerky pony option, asking Trixie, she's great only if she's going to eat a pine cone. And as you can see, there's been a reaction. Trixie is now angry. Lyra finds it hilarious. And as you see there, option 4 has come up, which isn't necessarily a nice thing to say to either Trixie or Lyra. And because you were a jerk earlier, you earned negative alignment points, putting you on the bad pony side. So let's go ahead and go with option 4 there, Raj.
And, of course, there's not a whole lot of... It's more or less filler at this point. It was made as a tech demo, so naturally you'd have some sort of nice choice to choose at one point that can change how you're viewed.
Right, if you start off, say, being a jerk at first and you realize, well, I don't want to do that, I shot myself in the foot there, mate, or in the hoof, rather. Well, there's so many dialogue options, and every character has their own story to tell to you. We have scheduled over 40-plus characters for this game. Every single one of them has a significant amount of dialogue to have with you. You can always apologize and fix the damage you've done. It just makes things a wee bit harder. Let's go ahead and tell her that neither one of them is best pony. And you see, Lyra is now sad. You're making her cry, and Trixie, well, she's being Trixie.
I could really see Trixie saying that line.
I try to go for some authenticity. I'm not as good as their writers are, but yeah, I can at least try. You didn't even get to say who the best pony was. The world may never know. Like a Tootsie Pop. Alright, what we've done right here is it's reset back to the scene right before your first decision, so we can show you what would happen if you went the other route, the nice pony route. We want to end on a good note and be a nice guy, so let's go ahead and go through that, Raj. We're going to say, it sounds like one more awesome thing to do in Ponyville, mate. It's fantastic. Let's see what happens here. Oh, and even Trixie's pleased for once. You don't see that very often. Though she's still quite full of herself.
Naturally.
Naturally. I'm going to kind of speed through this a little bit here because you've already read that. Now you see, the good guy option has popped, or the good pony option has popped up here. And before, you're both awesome. Let's go ahead and show what happens when we do that. And Lyra's extremely enthusiastic about that answer, and even Trixie's smiling at you. And Trixie approves. Yes, this pleases Trixie. For the record of that line there, you will in fact be able to hang out with Lyra and any of your favorite ponies in Ponyville when we get this game complete. And this next scene here is just something a little special just for us here. I think you all might get a little bit of a kick out of it.
And I didn't get to see this particular one.
No, this is a surprise for Rashi, actually. You gotta hit the space bar then again, mate. And we've got some difficult. I don't think we can quite show that scene and get away with it, so I had to go ahead and just kind of fade to black now. But I'll let you use your imagination there, Raj. Are there any, while we're here at the final screen here, are there any technical aspects you'd like to cover there, Raj?
Not really. It's actually not very hardware intensive at all. The only thing it really needs is support for non-Power of 2 textures. For anyone who knows what that means. Anything fairly recent probably supports it fine.
What we're saying is it's pretty much all can play. However, if you have a Macintosh, we do not have a way of supporting that now. If someone would like to come along at some point in time and make it where it's compatible with Macintosh, that's great, mate. We appreciate you. I would like to point out, as Lyra mentioned that, we do have a link below that we'd like you to click on to give information about how you could submit artwork to us. And though we're not quite ready for voice actors yet, maybe start thinking about it. Maybe start working up your best Twilight Sparkle impressions. I mean, as inherently beautiful as Rashi's white voice and mine are, we simply aren't cut out to do the voice acting for the game. With a cast of characters that's about 97% female, I don't think I'd sound like a very good Princess Celestia. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Raj, but I don't think I would.
I prefer you didn't, but I bet if you really wanted to, you could pull it off.
Probably sound like Troll last year more like it. Well then, that's our demo there, mates. This game's Welcome to Ponyville, and we'll have more demos out for you soon. More little bits of information. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Good day, guys.
See you.